I'm recording it, so are you. You were at my house that day.
Yeah, that was in April, right?
April 19th, Good Friday. The day of my life and my family's life is forever ruined. Your Sheriff Bianco, remember I asked about him that day? You know he's still missing, right? Last Friday he messaged me, he was going to get back. He was in Sacramento. I think they're schooling him on what he needs to be done. God, it smells like pot really bad in here. Anyway, they're schooling him, I think, on what needs to be done. So I reached out.
On your
I got
situation,
the senator now. I got Tanaka. I got Melissa Melendez. I got a complaint now in court too, and I'm now taking calls for you guys because citizens, we can't get a response. Our sheriff's missing. He hasn't even went public and said anything.
Okay.
Not good. I come to find out you guys didn't take a report.
No, they
Why?
didn't write a report. That was it's called an assist other department. So
agency assist.
We were there to stand by.
Mutual aid.
Right.
But typically, I always did when I was working in the field. I was only 2 stripes, not 3. But I would take minimally an incident just to cover my ass.
Okay. Well, we didn't.
Okay.
You were told out there that day that if you had a complaint that you had.
Oh, I got lots of
you
complaints.
would give it to and go toward that agency, not ours.
No, I'm coming to you too.
Okay.
Remember when I asked you about IDing those people?
When we were out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember I asked you about that?
Yes.
Why didn't you ID them? Why didn't you run names?
We had already spoken with them.
No. I wanted you to run names.
We don't need to do that for you.
You would feel okay with what would you say, 20 to 30 people maybe were there? I don't know how many were there. A lot. Well, can we agree to that? A lot. And they were in my yard. You know my husband's a deputy too because you called his work, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you make a medical diagnosis on me with my husband's commander?
I didn't.
Oh, I'm crazy?
I never made any medical diagnosis. So your neighbors called and said that you were distraught and you were screaming.
Of course
in
I
your
was.
front yard and you were crying. And so I said, well, instead of us going back out there, maybe it would be better if her husband spoke with her.
No, wait a minute. I'm talking about when the slaughter was happening is when you called because
No,
when
I never called your husband when we
okay, when you guys all bailed and I was still there, pretty hysterical, and we'll agree I was hysterical. We can agree to that. I had a weird car that came and was like in front of my house. I called you guys back out. I said, I need somebody here. I literally had probably, 20, 30, a lot of people in my backyard. And you know as well as I do what is in my house, probably, because you probably have similar stuff in your house with kids. I don't know who any of those people were. I've got videos of them saying they're 2-day temp hires out of Home Depot off a flyer. I don't know that any background vetting is done. So I get to live in fear every day of who was in my yard. You know how we answer our door now at our house? We go full tactical now. My husband too. Because that's how we live now. Because I don't know who those people were. I don't know if I had pedophiles. You know that there are some people that will do bad stuff to cops if they have the opportunity. You know that, right? I mean, we can agree to that? No? Okay, we'll agree to it. But we know that can happen. So how am I supposed to live in peace and not feel afraid every day?
That's a question that you need to ask yourself.
Okay, well, this is what I'm doing then. Here's what I'm doing.
How can we help you today? What is your complaint, ma'am?
Okay, under the U.S. Title Code 18242.
Okay.
You familiar with that one?
Nope, I don't enforce federal law.
Well, why wouldn't you enforce federal law?
Because I'm a state peace officer.
Okay, so when these people go to homes, you're telling us you won't enforce federal law?
We do not enforce federal law.
Okay. Interesting. Is that a departmental policy? Because I've never heard of that. I thought that, laws are laws.
Were you a law enforcement officer?
I sure was.
Employed by whom, ma'am? If you mind
I'm not
asking.
going to say that on my camera right now.
Would it be safe to say a California law enforcement agency?
Yes, it would be safe to say that.
Okay. Did you enforce federal law?
Yeah, I actually worked with the feds on a prostitution thing a while back.
Working with the feds and enforcing federal law are two different things.
I was employed with as you mentioned, a state. Well, it's okay if you don't want to do anything. It's cool. I mean, I'm pretty used to it because that's kind of what I get as the runaround.
Well, it seems like you just want to ask us questions and interrogate us and get it on camera so that you can do something with it, like post it on social media or something.
Why would that be a problem? If there's nothing to hide, there's nothing to hide.
This is not our case, ma'am.
Yeah, there's no report on anything. I got people out there that I got a call from my neighbors. They were pounding on gates and stuff, so they're all freaked out. So I'm like, okay, let me go see. I'll help you. I go see, ask them, can I please have your ID? And they freaking just bail. What the heck? So yeah, I feel like this because I once took an oath. I'm kind of ashamed I did because the behavior and what's happened is outrageous. But I'm not going to let citizens down.
Yeah.
And so I have every legal right, and so does that citizen, to know who these people are, but my citizens are too afraid.
Why don't you file a complaint with the agency that was out there?
Well, considering I am dealing with our government, and I've already talked to the FBI
Mm-hmm.
and the United States Department of Justice,
Mm-hmm.
we got a problem. So it's okay. I mean, I'm doing everything the legal way. You ran me, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't run me? Or my plate? Okay. Well, if you do and you want to, which you have legal reason, and I would have thought you guys did, and maybe my husband too, that we're good. And you have legal right to run people. So like out here, and I said, okay, can you, like I asked you that day, run them and just put them in the clet so that we at least have a log of who they are? Nope. And so you would be okay if you were in my shoes, and you would be like, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Like I told you, if you have any complaint, you can get a list of who was there from them, not us. It was their case.
Don't you
not
do an
ours.
incident log? Because when I would serve warrants and I would do that stuff, they usually had like an incident log, the commander, and everybody who showed up signed their name and their agency and a date, time, etc. So you could go back to that log and review who was there. I think it's for legal purposes too, because like if somebody dies there.
Sure, a critical incident log. If it was our case, sure, we would do that. But it's not our case.
Okay. So at this point, you guys are basically washing your hands of all of it then. Nobody's going to ID these people. You are not going to ID anybody. My problems and my complaint just can...
Goes to that agency, not ours.
Yeah.
Well, I have an agent. I mean, I have a problem, and I don't know that I can file against you guys because I don't think you did your job. And one of the primary duties is to uphold our Constitution, which was my due process. Remember when I asked you about that ex parte? Remember when my attorney talked to you?
I don't know that it was an attorney. It was somebody on the phone.
Well, I don't know who's in my backyard either, so I guess we never know who's who in the zoo. We'll agree to that too. But the fact of the matter is, when I asked for my constitutional rights of due process, you guys failed to allow me that, and that's a civil liberty, and that is under I don't know how long you guys have been hired on, but Bill of Rights, Constitution, it's pretty easy to look it up. Fifth Amendment, due process. I asked you for that. Okay, I'm not on parole or probation. So there's no conditions to anything of why I shouldn't be afforded my rights. And that was not done. And that's the beef I have with you guys, because that's a very important thing. People died for those rights.
Okay.
So
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I know if you're an A-list guy, I already know it's going to go in the trash. I know how this game's played. But it's cool. I'm here. You're here. They're here. Well, they're gone probably now. I still don't know who they are. And I'm not breaking any laws. You guys know who I am?
Again, if you want to know who those people were, then you do have to go speak with that agency. That is not, we have no idea the list of people
Isn't
that they brought out.
that concerning for your citizens of the county?
There was a search warrant signed by a judge in this county.
Did you verify
Okay?
that?
I know who the judge is, yes.
You did. You did verify that warrant was valid. Because you know what? Remember when I asked you about traversing it? There was errors on that warrant. The house description was wrong.
That is not my legal
but-
authority right there.
Well,
the
would
judge
be.
signed it off.
But don't you
You
review
can
it? Just
go
to
review
wouldn't
that
you
with
review it with a citizen? Because you know as well as I do, many citizens have no clue how to read a warrant.
Listen, like he said, what specifically do you have with us? Because
I want to file complaints.
okay.
So where's
well,
the forms at?
on who and
You, Thomas, that new kid that was at my
we
house,
will give
the
you a
ride
yellow
along.
form. You can fill it out and you can leave it up front.
Okay. Oh, I don't even know the ride along kid that stood there. That kid, I don't know who he was. The younger deputy, maybe 6 months to a year in, I don't know who he was. It was my friend that I asked to please be there with me.
Okay.
And again, I want to know with this call to my husband's work, you guys, man, that's wrong. You could have had dispatch call my husband directly if you really felt there was something.
Okay, what we'll do for you, ma'am, is we will give you a complaint form. You're more than welcome to fill it out, leave it up, and we will investigate it.
Who you will or who will?
That's up to our commander.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else we can do for you?
I guess not.
Okay.
Guess not.